evening, everybody. I'm Mark.
And I'm Britton. And with us tonight is Miss Jenny.
That's me.
That's her. All right. So, we have a movie for you.
It is called...
Sunshine, right?
Yes.
Okay. And, well, all right. Well, let's just get started. As always, we will talk about the plot of the movie. I'll turn it over to Britton. And if Jenny has anything that she wants to say in the intermittent times, then she can as well. I guess I'm giving you guys permission to talk, is what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
Seriously.
You are all welcome.
So, in the not-too-distant future, the sun, I guess, gets old and kind of worn out, and it starts to dim and cool down, and Earth gets all cold and miserable. So, the movie starts... with this mission to, re-blow up the sun with a second star with all the fissile material mined from the planet, and give the sun a little jump start in order to start it again. Mm-hmm. This is the second mission because the first mission failed for unknown and mysterious reasons. Woo-hoo. So the ship, as they go across some zone where they no longer receive radio communication, they get a gravity assist boost from Mercury, and because Mercury is mainly made of iron, they hear the distress signal because the planet magically acts as a antenna. Yeah. And they hear the distress signal from the lost first mission,
and they have to make a decision. Like, all right, well, they still have their star nuke on board.
Yeah.
So do we risk our mission to go and rescue them and get their star nuke and maybe whoever's there left on board, or do we continue on with our mission as if this hasn't happened and just continue it like normally, like sane people would do?
They had to make in consideration that it's been 7 years.
Yes, 7 years since this, since like the last mission I think failed, right?
And star nukes obviously have like a shelf life of 5, so it's beyond the expiration date. So,
but like idiots, they decide to go for that second star nuke anyway, and then all hell basically breaks loose. One by one, the crew fall victim to either disasters or just their own stupidity.
Yeah, it was the first thing to go wrong is, other than the guy making the wrong choice, because he pretty much makes the wrong choice because the computer was not able to predict the future.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like, he didn't like that it wasn't 100% probable.
So he was like, if I'm not going to be 100% probable, I'd feel a lot more comfortable with 2 star nukes.
Yeah. So the first foul up is I guess he's the chief navigator, or whatever the hell he is. He changes the trajectory, but forgets to adjust the mirror. Like
a shield.
Yeah, there's this big mirror shield that's blocking the star nuke from the powers of the sun. Mm-hmm. And he forgets to adjust them, which damages 4 panels of this dome the size of Manhattan.
And not just the 4 panels, but it also like blows up their entire plant room.
Yeah, somehow.
And, it catches it on fire. It's a bad ship. It's a stupid ship. And then they this is just a very expedited type of summary, but they fix that at the loss of their captain.
Yeah.
Then they go to they finally find the other space station, the other ship, and they get in there and it's like, oh, well, nothing works. The star nuke's been destroyed, so whoops.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they lose 2 people on that mission.
And the one thing we kind of skipped over is there seems to be an addictive quality of I guess, being bathed in the sun's radiance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's this sunroom, which it doesn't seem like a very well-advised thing, but they have it. And, people will go in there and just let in a percentage of the sun and, try and get more and more sunlight on their body. And, it becomes a habit somehow. And it's not really explained, but...
Nothing is.
No, just like everything else.
And so they lose one of the sun addicts, and they lose the second in command, who's a little wormy guy.
Yeah.
And so only Captain America, Chris Evans is in this.
Yeah.
And so only Captain America and the Scarecrow,
Cillian Murphy.
Is it Killian or is it Cillian?
I don't know.
Okay. Scarecrow, he makes it too, and they find out that they have a stowaway on board.
Yep. The original crew of the Icarus One, much like the first Event Horizon crew, somehow went mad and it baked themselves alive in their sunroom.
They were all just a bunch of addicts, I guess, for the sun.
But except for one person who was Space Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, actively sabotaging the crew and the ship and everything like that.
Yeah.
And baking himself in the sun, so, not so much, but just enough to get a healthy burn.
Yeah.
And then he sneaks aboard the other ship because he wants to sabotage that one too. And he does a pretty good job of it for the most part.
Yeah. Well...
I mean, for the most part.
The crew is not really competent enough to resist him to begin with.
Yeah.
Though, much like, Sunman of Superman 4 fame, he did somehow get, a lot stronger.
And yeah, so that's really about it.
Cillian Murphy eventually makes the dive into the sun. The nuke does explode. Spoilers. And but yeah, there was this perplexing scene when the nuke goes off and kind of just stops. Like there's this wall of nuke fire, and he's just kind of basking in it.
Yeah, he's like in the middle of the nuke fire, and the fireflies behind him.
Yeah, and like I don't know what that was supposed to represent. Was that maybe brain death?
Yeah, that had to have been. Like it was, everything slowed down so that right as the wall was about to engulf him, I like to think like everything slowed down to a crawl. And
maybe.
Well, earlier in the movie, he did mention that when it happens, that something about time and space will merge.
Oh, that's right.
But it was such a throwaway line that it didn't make any sense.
Britton asked to repeat that line because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know what they think happens when a nuke goes off. But it's not that.
It's not that. This is a star nuke. This is a much more powerful nuke.
I guess.
It's supposed to restart the star. Of course it's going to be stronger.
You have to restart a star by nuking a star.
Come on, this
with
isn't
a smaller star.
This isn't a Dodge Challenger. This thing's a little bit tougher to restart than just a car.
What's that from? Is that from the core?
No, I think I just made it up.
Oh.
If I didn't just make it up, I'd like to know where it's from. So everyone listening, write down on a stamp, a self-addressed stamped envelope, and send us where that quote was from, and send it to our address. And whoever was closest, they win a prize.
If you don't know our address, send it to your local congressman or state representative,
and they'll give you a prize. You'll get a prize out of this. Trust me.
All of the trust.
They won't. So, that was Sunshine. Right? Sunshine.
Yeah, for the most part. A bit of a bleak and depressing movie.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very good. There was a lot of stupid science stuff, but I do want to go through the normal process we'd usually do and say, first things first, how would you fix this movie? Yeah, that's a tough one. Actually, this is a lot tougher than most movies we watch, because most movies we watch are just very small budget with no ideas. And at least this movie had ideas.
It had ideas, like the special, for being a movie from 2007, the special effects were fairly good.
Yeah.
For a 14-year-old movie.
Yeah, the visuals were excellent, and I thought the direction, like the art direction of it, was really, really good. Like the design of the spaceships and the design of the actual, like, pressurized cabins and all that stuff was cool.
Though the razzle-dazzle spacesuit that they had was a bit silly.
It was like gold. I'm sure there's probably some reason it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same reason like the lunar lander had like this gold foil on the outside. I'm sure it's because the density of gold stops gamma radiation or something like that. But it just looked like they decorated a disco ball into a spacesuit.
Looked like Mr.
Golden
T
disco
lent them.
ball.
I know.
So, but anyway, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge as compared to a lot of our other movies about how would you fix this and make this into a movie that you would actually want to sit through again and watch again. It's
tough because even though it's not a great movie, it's not a bad movie.
Right. No, I see that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I can't sit there in good conscience and say that this was really a bad movie.
Yeah, it's a bit dull
and kind of dumb,
but not bad. And I don't know, like if I had to do this, I would obviously make it dumber. Like I want there to be a chess game with the sun. And if someone beats the sun at a chess game, he'll reignite. But if they lose, they get turned into the people ashes.
So, and that's interesting because I like to think that the person that they send against him, like the chess wizard, he's only as good as most Earth people can be. But the sun, it can like predict moves like so far out in advance. I think they said that if you predict like 64 moves out from any chess game, like every permutation of moves, like I think like 64 moves out, it is a bigger number than any computer on Earth can handle.
That's crazy.
And so, but the sun is a much smarter opponent. So
yeah, it has the mass of the sun and the energy of the sun to compute a lot of information.
Yeah, so I think that it would be a tough challenge for the person going against it.
And I imagine they send these chess masters and supercomputers and...
I like to think that there's two Icaruses, like there were in the movie. The first one is, like you said, all the chess masters and supercomputers, and with all the best technology Earth has to have, and all the mines and everything, like by committee, they fail horribly and get turned into ash. The second Icarus has the last hope alive, which is a chess-playing chicken. And
I that works, but I have a something. I have a correction that may work.
Okay.
That I think you'll approve. The last hope of humanity is Ernest P. Worrell.
I was gonna actually say Mr. Bean.
That would work too because their playing style is so unpredictable that the sun can't keep up.
They're not playing to win; they're playing to make pretty patterns. That's from Knives Out. So, I think that's a good idea. That's your idea, the chess idea. I have a few ideas, but I want to bring it over to Jenny. We haven't heard from her in a while. So, what would you do to make this movie a little bit more interesting, a little bit better overall?
I think the main thing I would do is get rid of the awful characters.
Okay.
All right,
Every
that's a good
single
start.
one of them.
The characters did suck.
They
except
sucked
for the captain.
so hard. Yeah, the captain was good. They had no want to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they didn't want to save the planet.
right? It didn't feel like any of them actually gave a crap.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they were literally handpicked to save the world.
They were the B team. They sent the A team and they went crazy.
So I guess they needed someone like, listen, we need someone who's very, very energetic about this mission, but not too energetic. We don't need someone too zealous about saving the Earth, because they will go crazy.
That being said, I did like Chris Evans' character.
Though he's a sensible one.
He was the only one that had a character.
Yeah, because he was downright callous, but when all of he kind of had to be callous, because when you have all of humanity riding on your shoulders, like one or two or half the crew even, is a small number to pay for all of humanity.
It's like there was one point where Scarecrow was like, "Oh, you're really gonna sacrifice, or you're really gonna try to save one person or kill one person to save the rest of the world?" It's like, yes, that is specifically what you should be doing in this situation.
Which is literally the same decision the other one made earlier in the movie.
Mm-hmm. It's like everybody knew that, listen, we don't get another chance at this. Like, we need to do this here and now. Like, we have to push forward no matter what. And then, oh, but we're going to lose our humanity. It's like, we're going to lose all of humanity.
Yeah.
Right. I think the caveat of being like, well, we already mined all of the resources to make the second payload. There is no third payload. I think that could have been impressed upon us a little bit more about the weight of the fact that this is the last chance, because they didn't tell us how long it takes to travel to the sun. If they could have just finished the mission, gone back to Earth, reloaded, and then just gone to Icarus 1 in the first place and picked them up,
You know what this movie needed? What the hell was that?
Nothing. Oh. That was one of those spooky ghost things I had outside in the kitchen.
You know what this movie needed? It's a little bit cliche, but it needed a opening with that news clip opening where it's just a series of of news talking heads talking about the what's going on in the world,
like
the failure of the first one.
Yeah, like it starts with the sun's dimming, and then it goes into kind of political intrigue about it, then the first mission and the first mission's failure, then the second mission, and then no more fissile material and all that. And that would have actually added a lot to the movie, because it would have given a lot of added more weight to the characters.
I'm gonna say what I would do to make this movie better, for me at least.
Everybody strap in.
Okay, yes, please do. So we keep maybe the I'd say we heighten, or not heighten, but we kind of speed through, expedite like the first act a little bit, first two acts for the movie. Like, I would have the entire first act be ending with the failure at reaching the other ship. Like, they reach the other ship, there's a failure, now there's a stowaway on board, and I would have shifted the focus more on the stowaway trying to sabotage the ship, and I would have made him much more Cronenberg-esque body horror kind of thing.
So the radiation from the sun mutated him type thing?
Yes, exactly. I would have made this kind of like Alien, except this isn't just a space truck crew. This is a crew that literally needs to survive to save the world. And now there's a monster running amok.
And not only a monster, but a thinking monster.
Yeah, like a huge hulking, like mutated mass that is almost unstoppable.
So kind of the Thing in space.
Yes, exactly. And again, like we can stick with the opening. Actually, it works a lot better with your opening, with the news clips and everything, because we know how important this space mission is. But now, I mean, if we're gonna kill these people off one at a time anyway, we might as well do it fucking slasher movie style.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I would do it. I would shift the focus, because it almost seems like right now there was a split focus.
Yeah, the movie kind of really changed gears midway through into a horror movie, like, which was not something I was expecting. I thought I was expecting something along the lines of Gravity, and where it was a series of improbable events that that takes on the story, and the only horror is the horror that of the situation. But they literally conjured a monster. We really. Yeah, I guess he died in the explosion too.
I'm assuming, yeah.
The last thing we really saw him was him shaking his fists at them.
Yeah, and then like the time melt happened.
Yeah.
And Cillian Murphy is just like, well, okay, here I am. What are you gonna do about it? And he's like, oh. So I like to imagine he's time melted with the rest of them. He's an infinite part of the sun now.
And he becomes one with it.
Yeah.
And it's the most powerful being in the solar system.
I didn't we have a story we wanted to write one time about basically a monster that it was like a fight. It started out like human-sized fight, and then it kept on getting bigger and bigger. And I think at one point we had the monster like get shot into the sun and became one with the sun.
Yeah.
So the hero, he becomes one with the Earth and all the other planets, and they form like a body out of the planets, and they start duking it out with the sun like a fist fight.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good story.
And I think the what we concluded is that the only way he can win is if he threw him into a black hole. I
think at one point there was an Oort cloud somewhere in there, which was definitely a Britton idea. I don't know what it was. I think it was used as a weapon though.
Like what? He just coalesces all of the Oort cloud?
Yeah, into like a spear and throws it at the heart of the sun, and it like pushes the guy out.
Yeah, that does sound like a Britton idea.
So, because space is cool, kinda. It's dangerous.
Kinda.
It's deadly. I know. It's kinda cool. Actually, most of it's just empty and boring, but
well, yeah.
The idea of space is pretty cool. So, I guess on that note, since we have our very special guest, Miss Jenny, here, what planet would you want to visit if you could in our solar system? We'll go round robin, but we'll start with Jenny.
Interesting.
Wait, we'll put her on the spot.
Well, I would probably want to go to Jupiter just because it's so big.
It's a big planet.
It is big.
It's scary big.
Yeah, it is terrifying, but that's cool. That's a cool idea. I like that. I like the.
And there's many moons on Jupiter, so that would be interesting. Just the orbitalness of the whole thing.
You could stake your claim on one of the moons, and nobody would care.
Oh yeah, that would be the Jenny Moon 5000.
Yeah. All right. So that's a good answer. Jupiter is a solid answer. Well, I guess it's gaseous.
A gaseous answer.
All right, Britton. So we'll move on to you next.
Well, I think my answer's obvious. Mars.
Okay.
I would go and I would save Opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Opportunity. That one robot that died.
You'd kind of like give it mouth to mouth.
Oh no, I just sweep it.
Oh.
You just sweep the solar panels, and I think I might reboot.
Don't you die on me! No, that's cool. That's a cool idea. Like Mars is getting a lot of attention right now.
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated myself with going to Venus. I'd like to go under the clouds of Venus and kind of see, what the planet's surface is like for underneath a sulfur cloud kind of thing.
Well, you're not gonna have a lot of time.
Well, I'm assuming just like everything else, like this is almost we'll just say you can teleport to it, or just astral project to it. So you can, you can do a force ghost like Luke Skywalker does, or a force projection.
Right. So the atmosphere doesn't bother you.
Yeah, you're in no danger. Like Jenny can go to her moon and it won't bother her. You can go to your Mars and.
I would imagine it'd be very dark.
Yeah, I can. I would think so. I'd bring my force ghost projection would bring a flashlight.
Yeah. And it would definitely.
Go home.
I'm sorry, the babies outside distracted me.
They're tending a garden out there. They're a landscape crew.
Oh, what?
No,
babies?
the babies, yeah.
The babies.
Or are they just? The Cabbage Patch. I get it.
Yeah. And their diapers fertilizing. All right, go on. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So here is. I do want to kind of get back to the movie real quick. So
okay.
we discussed how to fix the movies, but how would we write the farce?
Ah, yes, the farce. I always forget, but that is a good idea. The farce movie is a staple for
Like, I know mine was a little bit silly, but
he started going there, but
it was not full farce.
I mean, once you introduce either the chicken playing or the chess playing chicken, or the Ernest P. Worrell, then I think it's more farcical.
Yeah.
Although if we do the Ernest thing, I would imagine that they kind of keep him in suspended animation until it's time. Like, he's not a part of the crew, or anything like that.
Until the good moment, and they're like, they boot him up. They're like, all right, now's the time. Break him out.
And he's like groggy at first, and once he comes to, he's like, oh, man, did I ever have the weirdest dream right there. I tell you, I fell into the pit of the sun, and it was really hot, I'll tell you that much, you know what I mean?
I imagine it's like Demolition Man, where, he's kind of a prisoner. Like, he,
what did he do?
What did
okay, that's
do?
fair.
Like, what didn't he?
do?
The man's a disaster.
I want to say that he was somehow responsible for the sun dimming.
But they have him cased in ice. But they just have him along in there. Yeah, it kind of in case of emergency, break ice.
Yeah, break Ernest.
Yeah, and they come across an emergency, and he's melted. Not unlike Austin Powers, and except he's not gonna have that 10-minute pissing scene.
Yeah, Ernest wouldn't do that. Ernest is highbrow.
And so maybe it's not necessarily a chess match with the sun. Maybe there's another avenue, like obviously he's gonna have to start the nuke. He doesn't necessarily have to die with the nuke because it's the Ernest movie.
Yeah,
but he does have to start the nuke, and I imagine it's one of his overly complex Rube Goldberg contraptions with like pinwheels and bellows and stuff like that.
See, I imagine that when he starts the nuke or does whatever, even if it is a chess match, like, the sun's restarted and, like, there's a big explosion, one way or another, whether it be through a nuke or the sun restarting. And just as he's, like, jumping out, like, of the ship to get away from the explosion, like, it gets him, and now he's screaming through space, dressed in his Ernest gear with his hat and his little denim vest.
Or is it a spacesuit with his hat on top of it?
I like it without it, because he's just screaming the whole time. Wah! And he, like, eventually gets pushed.
That's a good Ernest scream.
Oh, thank you. I worked on it. Eventually gets pushed all the way back to Earth. And when he lands after burning up on re-entry, he kind of steps out just a little sooty, and just like a little bit. His clothes are just a little tattered, but not completely gone. Just dusts himself off. Well, I blew it up.
And I don't know why, but he lands on the Planet of the Apes beach. You blew it up.
I imagine actually he was gonna land on, like, some second-rate villain in the movie, like the
like Dr. Otto,
or no, like the mean like bank president who gets angry at him all the time and forces him to go into the spaceship.
He crashes through Vern's roof.
Wow, Vern, talk about a lucky landing. What you got there? Orange juice?
Oh, I hope this is insured, Vern.
It's not? Well, you need to go through State Farm Insurance, the best insurance, but... Yeah, that's pretty
And
good.
there was a commercial this whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's a product placement, but, it's a less subtly done product placement.
Less subtle than saying you need insurance.
Like, there is, I guess, no less subtle product placement than literally someone turning to literally the camera and pitching the product to the audience.
Oh, man. I do miss Jim Varney.
Oh, yeah. This isn't just the only Ernest movie that could have been done.
Yeah.
I just like to, if we can just pull him out of time, if we can just take that time stone, or the Doctor, the Tony Stark time machine, where we can just pull people out from the past without any repercussions. I would definitely bring an Ernest, a few Ernests, just in case, have a few backup Ernests.
Yeah, like we'll put them in tubes.
Yeah, we'll keep them fresh.
We'll keep them in suspended animation.
We'll put them in Tupperware.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that would go horribly wrong at some point.
Look, if they die, we just go back in time again and get another one.
Like, we have the time machine power. Like, there is no effects anymore that are horrible, really.
If those cans pop like Pillsbury, you guys better run.
Get a new Ernest.
Be like 7 or...
Oh, yeah, we'll have it. Like, if more than one gets out, we'll have to shoot it. Like, we'll keep a shotgun nearby.
Well, here's the interesting thing I think that Jenny's hinting at is that what if there is now 7 Ernests loose at once causing havoc, and it becomes too hard to stop? Like, at first, it's a most dangerous game scenario where we're trying to hunt the Ernest down.
Yeah.
Imagine me and you have, like, little ATVs that we're riding, and, we have, like, the safari caps and everything.
Yeah.
And each one is in, like, a different terrain. Like, one's made its way to the rainforest. The other one's in, like, the city.
Yeah.
One's in a suburb. Terrorizing, like, moms in vans driving their soccer kids around.
And they're all these different, they're in disguises, and it's all these different Jim Varney characters.
Yeah, like
Auntie Nedda.
Ooh.
Now,
You don't like Auntie Nedda?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Now
You finally caught me. I thought I could get away and live a full life.
You call that a gun? Well, I haven't seen a gun. These are both terrible Auntie
I know.
Neddas.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yours
you
was
guys
Morgan
are right.
Freeman.
Yes, yours was more Morgan Freeman.
I was wondering when you would come by and kill me.
But I imagine that the Ernests reproduce asexually. They're kind of like
They just spawn another, like, would it be like a baby Ernest, or would it be like a duplicate,
duplicate full-grown
the
Ernest.
cell splits in
It's
half
like
and
that,
it's a clone.
It's like mitosis.
No, I think it's a baby. It's like that baby Ernest from the Ernest show, where it's
Oh,
just Jim
gosh.
Varney's head on that
the
puppet.
head and the baby?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's creepy.
We have a full-fledged Ernest theory that is so insane that I don't know if this is the right time to talk about
We
it.
might as well.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'm so excited to hear about your Ernest P. World extravaganza.
Don't bust our balls.
Why'd you bring me on then?
I don't know.
Isn't that all I do?
You got a good voice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks. Wow.
Wow. This is gonna be the rest of the podcast.
Wow.
Have you ever seen Dr. Otto's Fibonacci device? What was it called? Dr. Otto's
Dr. Otto von Schnick.
Whatever you're trying to say, no.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Like, it's one of the early. I think it's the first Ernest.
Technically Ernest movie.
Like, it doesn't star Ernest, but it stars kind of this villain.
By Jim Varney.
Who's played by Jim Varney, but the main character is kind of this guy going on an adventure to stop Dr. Otto, and as he goes along, he comes across all these various characters.
Well, I think we should explain that Dr. Otto, first of all, has a hand on top of his head that moves around, and also that these characters, like Auntie Nedna and everything, they are actually spawned from like a cloning machine or something that Dr. Otto has.
Like, it's kind of a disguise machine that changes Dr. Otto into these different different characters.
Mm-hmm. So this is canon. At the end of the movie, like the Dr. Otto's machine is destroyed. It's a really funny movie.
Yeah.
Really check it out if you haven't. It is fantastic, and it's a lot more fun. Like, it's not a dumb Ernest movie. It actually has a self-awareness that is paramount.
It might be the best, one of the best Ernest-based movies there is.
But Ernest doesn't come into that at the end. After all these disguises fail, he reverts, I guess, back to this simpleton. Like, his mind gets melted into like a simpleton, and it's Ernest. And he takes his hat off at the end, and he's got the hand on his head still as Ernest.
Yep.
So me and Britton have this theory that there are actually 2 Ernests. One that has a hand that is derived from Dr. Otto, and one that is the normal Ernest that's non-hand based, that did a lot of the commercials.
And there are times where Ernest is a little bit evil in certain movies, or it seems a little bit too clumsy, and we do have theories. Like, Ernest goes to jail. There is another Jim Varney in there.
And we think that Ernest goes to jail because he dresses up as Auntie Nedna at some point. The hero Ernest that we're rooting for is actually the hand Ernest. We think the hand Ernest is actually the good Ernest. And the non-hand Ernest is the one who's supposed to be in jail and switches with him. That's Ernest Prime, who became bitter over the years.
Yeah. We never... it does explain the origins of Dr. Otto, but never... Do we ever figure out where Ernest came from?
I think Ernest was just a regular schlub.
Simpleton?
Yeah.
Or did we have a separated by at birth theory?
Okay, that was probably it, actually, where the two Ernests were separated at birth, because that was actually in the Dr. Otto movie that his brother was separated at birth from Dr. Otto, but that brother apparently grew up to be the hero of that movie.
Yeah.
It was not Ernest.
It was something like they had these two characters.
Yeah.
But,
triplets separated at birth. and that solves everything.
I wish we wrote down this theory, because it got insane. Because I think there was time travel involved and alternate universes.
So yeah, that is our just a scratching the surface of our very deep, very complex Ernest theory.
Like I kind of want to go through that and draw a timeline.
That would actually be like, we should make a whole book about it, like the Ernest paradox, and just have like the two different things. And then we can, well, it's not going to be fan fiction, but maybe it is, where we can start writing further Ernest adventures.
No, that would be fan fiction.
Okay, it's fan fiction.
It's definitely fan fiction.
It's fan.
It only becomes not fan fiction when you get it published.
You know what? I see no reason why we can't have Ernest books.
Yeah. You know what?
There's a market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People. Well, I mean, they don't know. Kids don't know about Ernest anymore, but they will.
And who said that children are the target audience?
That's true. I know a lot of old people would love to have an Ernest book. Well, that's not true.
Like an Ernest Harlequin novel.
Yeah. Oh, I grab you by your shoulders and kiss you deeply. That's good. That was terrible. That was
what was that?
That was Larry the Cable Guy all of a sudden.
Yeah, who were you
I'm
trying
gonna
to
get
even
her
be?
done. What?
Were you trying to be Ernest right there?
No, yeah, maybe.
That's not even a thing.
That's not even a
That's
thing.
not even a thing.
Ernest isn't even a thing.
No, what you did.
That was my Ernest Harlequin novel.
Ah.
Oh, was he grabbing them with his head hand?
Well, one of them. You know what I mean.
I'm sorry, I don't. Can you explain it to me?
I don't really have the time right now to go into the ins and outs.
You sound more like
different head hands.
I'm all head hands and
sound more like Beetlejuice. I even possessed myself.
I grabbed my head hands, but I really can't do it right now. I got a lot of things to do. Got to dig a grave. Got to get out of here. And, but when I get out of here, we're gonna talk all about the head hands I got. All right.
Oh, that also reminds me. We also had an idea for another. We had an idea for a movie, a sequel to Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
They wrote the book already.
I know they did. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
YA
Oh
book.
really?
Yeah.
Ours is better. Actually, I can't say that.
You didn't read the other one.
Exactly. That's why I can't say ours is better. But
No,
ours,
it's not a movie, so we have a sequel.
True, true.
If we make a sequel to the movie, it makes the book uncanon.
Yep.
Just like if we make a Goonies 2, the video game will no longer be the
Yes.
sequel.
Yes.
And just like after the sequel series of Star Wars came out, it rendered an entire collection of Star Wars books obsolete.
Yeah.
They're still canon to me.
But
Have you read the books?
I've read some of them.
I'm not learned.
She doesn't know how to read.
I can read sometimes.
Well, I think they're
I can read
made.
street signs.
I think they're mainly made for written for juveniles. I think a lot of the Star Wars books are they made?
Some of them
No.
are, but some of them are
Almost all the ones that were like wiped out in canon were not focused on the youth. Actually, it was.
And from what I hear, it was a pretty good series.
Oh, I heard a lot of them are, kind of neat.
I read the children's Star Wars based things, like
Such as
Origami Yoda.
okay. I'm guessing he was just made of paper.
He is made of paper, but he was using the Force to predict the future for this 4th grade
Was he a cootie catcher?
thing. A little bit, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
A little bit. No, it was interesting. That's a good series. Everybody should read it.
That's a good recommendation from Miss Jenny.
That's right. I work with books.
Boop.
Boop.
Got it. So yeah, if they can do our sequel to Hocus Pocus should be all right.
Well, I think we had it was still going to be I forget was it the main character or his sister that was going to be the
sister, I think.
So like the little sister, she still lives in Salem,
Mm-hmm.
and like her kids, I think are going to be the focus. Or no, or I think it was both of them.
Well, I think we determined that her kids are the focus, but she grows up to be like this all-powerful white witch.
That's right, because she did have she had some powers, but she never really did anything with them.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
And and something happens where the candle's lit again, and the witches come back, and all of a sudden, the cat, or at least the skeleton of the cat, comes back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
To say like they're back,
mm-hmm.
and goes to the sisters, and they have to revive a white witch.
Like even though the daughter still has some of the little bit of the powers in there, or the little girl has the powers in there, they need to revive the full white witch through I think her daughter.
Yeah, and she, because she has like a little bit of these powers, she's the only one that can really track down the white witch because no one really knows where she is.
Mm-hmm. And once the white witch is free, the sisters, Winnie and I forget the other ones.
The hot one and the other one?
Yes. Kathy Najimy and Sarah Jessica Parker. They, they resurrect a friend of theirs to kind of help fight the White Witch.
Yeah, because the White Witch, is no... Yeah, the White Witch can just wipe the floor of them.
Yeah, she's way too powerful.
And, in order to to help them out.
Even the odds a little bit.
Yeah, even the odds. They all say Beetlejuice.
Yep. And they...
Oh, is this how we got here?
Yes.
Okay, I was really trying to figure it out.
Don't worry. We were cooking up with something.
We talk in a circle. All
and,
right.
Then Beetlejuice comes and he's like, you got the White Witch here. How you doing?
Been a while, my White Witch. Big fan.
You just said there was a White Witch here. Why would you tell me with the White Witch here?
And then she starts doing her magic spells and everything. Her powers like, oh, okay, I guess we're gonna play games, huh? Oh, let's see what I got in my old bag of tricks here. Starts cracking his knuckles.
Yeah, and he's kind of like this shyster the whole time.
Yeah,
that's who he is.
Yeah, he's trying to do his spells to counter her, and like surprisingly, they're effective enough where he's at least holding his own. He's not gonna win, but you can tell he's staying strong,
Yeah, and then they beat the witches and they win.
Then that's it. Then it's over. Oh, well, I know it's time for me to the old dusty trail. See you in 20. And then that's it. He just goes away. Yeah. So that's how we got very circuitously from Ernest P. Worrell, because of my great impression, to
the sequel.
Hocus Pocus 2.
Hocus Pocus.
With a pit stop with Star Wars Extended Universe.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel so blessed to be here.
You should be.
It really is a privilege.
You are in the audience of geniuses here.
You're
Go on.
Ours are the shoulders that to be.
You can do it.
Don't worry. You got this, man. I believe in you. Heavy the head that wears the crown.
We got big brain.
Yeah, we big brain man. We big brain with funny man ideas. Beetlejuice, that hasn't been done before.
I'm so proud of you guys. You really cook up something delicious for me every single time I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I wasn't being sarcastic this time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's hard to tell. It's like a default mode.
Like we're always on the defensive.
Like
No, I really mean it. Every time we hear you guys are like, do you want to hear some stuff?
we got we got stuff coming out our butts.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's really where it comes from.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Do we have any other like absolutely asinine sequels?
I mean, we have when it comes to asinine ideas, we have about 1,000 of them. I remember there was one a couple days ago. We were saying we should talk about this on the podcast, and we just thought, oh yeah, we're not going to talk about it. I remember it now.
That's
Batman.
ominous.
Ominous.
It was our,
yeah.
It was our Batman one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
we don't
a-
want to talk about Batman right now, not with
no.
its Fortnite crossover coming out.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
we're not.
Fortnite crossover coming out for Batman.
Yeah, there's a standalone comic that just got released.
There's a Fortnite comic.
I think that they just glommed onto Batman, but
There's
the
a
actual
glom?
there's a glom. There's the actual hardcover graphic novels coming out in like November or something. But the standalone comic came out, and you can only get it at comic book stores. Don't go to a bookstore for that.
Just go to a library. You can get it ordered.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
You can order comics at the library?
Yeah, we have tons of graphic novels. If we don't have anything in stock, this is a pitch for my library, by the way. If we don't have anything in stock, you can just put in an order request, and we'll purchase it from Amazon or something, and then we'll bring it in for you.
My line of work does not sell comics.
My line of work sells lumber.
My line of work sells comics, just not singular titles, only the book form graphic novels.
We got everything.
Actually,
Everything.
they're not comics. They're graphic novels. Thank you.
We've got mangoes. We've got
Mangoes.
yeah, we
Do
got
you listen to
manga.
yourself?
Yeah, I drift in and out.
Oh, okay. Have they picked up like crazy at your work?
Mangas?
Yeah.
Actually, they have.
Isn't it insane?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Our business quadrupled.
I don't know why. I'm just
with
assuming.
the manga
yeah, the
market?
manga.
It's from TikTok.
Is it?
Yeah. TikTok has been getting the word out of what's cool and fun and hip. And
Okay.
there's a whole book talk subgenre as well as a manga.
So, like, because we, our manga is usually in our young adult section, and we usually don't get a lot of young adult stuff. But recently, it's just been whenever I've been checking things in, or bring stuff in from being dropped off. It's just been like there's been a whole bunch of them. So yeah, I guess at least I know the reason why.
Yeah, anime and manga have really, picked up in popularity these past few years. Like, I remember there were like a couple of guys at work who were the last people I would ever think were into it. We're talking about Dragon Ball Z and how I remember they said Majin Buu is a bitch.
One was Big Tough Sal, who drives the truck.
There's a
for living.
teamster.
Yeah. Whoa, let me tell y'all about something about Majin Buu. You little bitch.
Is that Ernest?
No, yes, that was Ernest.
It's better than the other one.
But I guess if I want to do Ernest, I have to do Teamster Sal. Whoa, you know what I mean? That's good. That's a good Ernest. And let's see.
It wasn't.
Hey, I only have like 2 or 3 voices that I do, and they're all the same. I got Barney Rubble. Hey Fred. I got Alf. Hey Willie. I got Gilligan. Hey Skipper. That's good.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I run the gamut. There's a subtle difference in each one that I've ignored. So, and that's what makes them good impressions.
I don't think you understand what actually makes a good impression.
I always make a good impression. What are you talking
Oh my
about?
God.
I know, right?
Your wordplay,
I know,
so
thank you.
awesome.
I'm a wordsmith.
And that note, sunshine.
Yes, sunshine.
Sunshine.
Kind of a dumb movie. You can skip it.
Yeah, it's it was a little bit of a letdown. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but not the best either. Yeah, if you like just a dumb science fiction movie, and you're good at kind of ragging on things, and you could do worse.
You can definitely do worse. But if you like stunning visuals at times and really pretentious visuals at other times,
Oh yeah.
then this is the movie for you.
All right, so I think that's going to do it. But before we go, do you have anything you want to plug, Miss Jenny?
Oh, yeah. I've done a lot of things on YouTube now, including a top 5 things you didn't know about Sesame Place, which is out now.
Oh.
Go find it.
All right, I think that'll do it there. And definitely go visit Miss Jenny's YouTube page. It is fantastic. She does a lot of different good videos, and I like them.
How can they look you up?
If you go on the UBTubes, which is YouTube for those people.
I heard.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just Jenny with a Y, Jenny, Kopcho, Kopcho.
Cool.
All right. Check her out.
And with that, take it easy, everybody.
Toodaloo.
Goodbye.
That'll hold a little SOBs.